I'm going to do the first one, and then I'll have people help me out for the other three, okay? So when we're completing a function table and we're given the x value, all we have to do is plug that x value into the x variable whenever it's listed, okay? Good morning. So I'm going to write this equation down here, 3, and then since there's an x right there, I'm going to plug that 0 into where the x is, minus 5.
Minus 5, then you go scratch out the 0 and the 3.
Right? So then y equals negative 5, right?
Oh, that's smooth.
That's it.
That's all we doing?
Yeah. Or you don't have to scratch it out like that. You could write, I'm going to go back real quick.
So y equals negative 5 on all three of them?
No. No. Just for the first one. You could write, you can rewrite 3 times 0 equals 0 minus 5. You're going to get the same answer, equals negative 5. Y equals negative 5. Make sure you put it in the y column. And then what's the ordered pair going to look like? 0, negative 5. Perfect. Okay. Kaylon, do you want to help me with the second one?
You do 3, parentheses, 1, parentheses, negative 5.
Mm-hmm. And what's 3 times 1?
3.
3. What's 3 minus 5?
2.
Negative 2.
Yeah.
Yep. So then I'm going to put my negative 2 under the y column. And then what's my ordered pair look like?
It's going to be 0, 0, 2, negative 2.
What's the x?
Oh, the x is 2. My bad.
No.
Wait.
X is 1. Remember because we plugged 1 in for x?
Oh yeah. X
So-
is 1 and negative 2.
Right. There we go.
Oh yeah. I'm not cooking now. You give me another problem?
Do you want to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you do y equals 3 parentheses 2 parentheses negative 5.
Mm-hmm. What's 3 times 2?
And that's 6
Minus 5.
minus 5 and it'll be positive 1.
Right. Good.
So then you go over positive 1 and you'll parentheses 2 1.
Right. Good. And if you have trouble remembering what numbers go in the ordered pair, all you have to do is look up here and see it's x, y. So then you know your x value is right here, and you know your y value is right here.
I'll do number 3.
Okay. Go ahead.
The way I do it is like this.
Okay. Okay.
Put a 3,
Mm-hmm.
parentheses 3,
Good.
minus 5.
What's 3 times 3?
6 minus 5 is 4.
No.
Oh yeah, 9
9.
minus 5 is 4.
Good. 9 minus 5 is 4. So where do I write that for?
Right here, and your answer is going to be 3 parentheses 3, 4.
Good. Okay, thank you, Mike. So, if you can see it, he plugged 3 in for x, because we've got our value right here, so 3 times 3 equals 9. And then he continued the equation right here, so 9 minus 5 equals 4. And then you plug the 4 in the y column, and then in the ordered pair as well. Okay. What's the next part? So now we have, this is the same equation we were working with. Y equals 3x minus 5. Do you remember what m stands for? What does m represent? Oh, thank you. Slope. Yes, I heard it. Okay. So m equals slope, but we don't know the slope yet, right? Because we only have those ordered pairs that we listed in the ordered pair column, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to list the first, or I'm going to plot the first ordered pair, which was 0, negative 5, right? That's the first one we have. That's also the y-intercept, which we're going to talk about more today in our notes, okay? I know you can't see it very well because it's on top of that arrow. This is our y-intercept, 0, negative 5. It's where the plotted point, it's where the line is going to cross the y-axis, okay? That's only one of them. So our y-intercept, I just said, is -5. Let's go ahead and write that in there. We're going to plot the next couple of ordered pairs, and then we're going to figure out the slope. What is it?
This is the 28th, and it's Tuesday. That's the 28th.
Yeah. So Mr. Betts, Mrs. Lidekin's co-teacher, he's teaching the same thing, but he's like a day or two ahead. And so the date on your opener is different from today's date. We're here, but that's the opener we're working on. But thank you, because I know I did hand out the wrong one last week. So I'm going to plot the next ordered pair. What's the next one listed on there? 1, -2. So I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm going to go right 1 and down 2. And then the next one is 2, 1. So I'm going to start at the origin, go right 2 and up 1. And then the last one is 3, 4. So I'm going to go right 3 and up 4. Okay? So now we have enough plotted points that we can graph a line, right? We can draw a line. So make sure your line goes through all of your points. Draw your arrows. And now we have to figure out what m equals. You remember the lattice points? I know we just took the quiz yesterday for slope. When you're finding slope, you have to know the lattice points. We already have lattice points because we have plotted points, right? It's the same thing. So I'm going to find the slope. What's that easy equation for slope?
It's going negative.
What?
It's going negative.
No, the line's positive.
Oh.
Because when you read from left to right, the line is going up from left to right. So it's going to be a positive slope. No, that's not the answer, but that's how we're trying to figure it out, okay? So I'm going to start at this lattice point, or this plotted point, and what am I going to do? If I'm reading left to right, what am I going to do to find rise over run? Well, I have the next plotted point, so I'm going to rise 3 and over 1. That's right. So then my m equals 3 over 1. Okay? Because I have my plotted point or my lattice point. I went up 3. That's my rise. And I went over 1. And that's my run. Okay? That should look extremely familiar because that's what we've been working on for the last week. Okay? So something we're going to learn today in our notes. Another way of writing y-intercept. Again, this is going to be a little weird. Just like m stands for slope, even though slope doesn't start with m. Y-intercept is represented by the letter B. So instead of having to write out 4 letters for y-intercept, you can just write B equals -5. Okay? B is y-intercept. We're going to learn more about that in a minute. Okay, go ahead and turn it over on the back side. This one should be easy. We're not finding the slope because it's been given to us, and we're not even finding the y-intercept because it's also been given to us. So I'm going to do the first one and then ask for your help. Huh? So we're just drawing the line. So the y-intercept is -2. So if I'm plotting this point, I'm going to put it at 0, -2. So you start at the origin and go down 2. Good. Not left or right because it's a 0, right? And now, if I'm trying to find the next plotted point, I'm going to go up 4 from this point, not from the origin, but from this point. So I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And over 3. Yep. So these are our 2 points. Okay? And now I'm going to draw my line. Make sure your line goes through both points. You draw your arrows. And that's it. Always a straight edge. Yep. Always, always.
No, fly this one.
I got it away.
Just trust her behind
That what?
you. Really good idea. I want to see something.
All right, are we ready to go on to the next one?
What is that?
Tuesday, yep.
Why does it not run?
It does.
Wish it was.
It needs to be Friday.
Do you think we're going to have school tomorrow?
Yes, no, yes.
I don't know
It's
either.
only like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't know when they would call it.
right. Mrs. Lidekin said that she thinks that it won't be called, but like if your parents call in for you, it'll probably be excused. Not to encourage you to do that, but it does seem pretty dangerous. Car breaks down or something. Okay. If you forget what to do, you've got your directions right at the top, okay? Actually, it's not on your opener, but it's up here. So, I'm going to plot the point. Does someone want to plot it for me?
I'll do it.
Okay.
You go down and, wait, you start in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And once you go like left,
Mm-hmm. How many? 2 times. Because this is the x value. So, I'm going to go left 2. So, I'm right here, and then what?
like up.
Yes, up 4. So this is real simple. You guys know how to do this. That's just plotting a point. Okay? So it's negative 2, 4. So just like Daisha said, you start at the origin, go left 2, and then up 4. Now, if we're trying to find the next point, what do we do from here? We know the slope. So what are we going to do? Down 5, yeah. From this point, not from the origin. Which is right here. And then what, AJ? Right 1, right. And how did you know to go down? Because it's a negative. So now we have our points. So now we can draw the line. Make sure you get your arrows in. And that's it.
Now we get to go home now.
Not quite. So remember, anytime you see the negative, you know that your line is going to be going down from left to right. AJ said it, you go down 5, and you see that negative, and you know you have to go down. Okay.
Well, how do you draw it wrong? I'm not creepy.
Okay, 2 more. I'll do this one, and then someone can help me with the last one. So I'm going to plot 1, 3. So I'm going to start at the origin, go right 1, and then up 3. And my slope is negative 2 over 3. So I'm going to go down 2, because negative 2 is my rise. And my run is 3, so I'm going to go right 3. Then I'm going to draw my line. Whoa. Draw my arrows. And that's it.
You're late.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not ready.
Yo, you been in the office? You know plans.
Okay, last one for the opener. Who wants to help me with this one?
No, because it's math.
David? Okay. Where do I plot this point?
Alright, you're gonna start at the origin.
Mm-hmm.
Go right 3. No, go up.
Up 3. Yep. Because our x value is 0, so we don't go left or right. We only go up 3. But good job correcting yourself. Mm-hmm. And then what? Real quick before you start. Whenever we see m equals negative 4, that's the same as it's saying negative 4 over 1. Okay? So now we have our rise and our run instead of just the rise. Okay? Alright, go ahead, David.
Aren't you gonna go left? No way. No.
This is the rise.
I'm stuck.
You're stumped? Okay. So from the point, if our slope is -4/1, -4 is our rise, so I'm going to go down 4
Oh, right.
and then over 1. Yep. Okay. Perfect. And now, oh, I forgot to draw my point. Now I'm going to draw my line. Thanks for your help. Whoa. And then write the arrows. And there's your line. Okay?
I want that worksheet. That 4.8, I want to see what that 4.8 look like.
4.8. Today is a little different, okay?
Good.
I'm glad you're excited for that. Okay, once you get that down, make sure you use your straight edge, because remember, points get taken off if you don't. Go ahead and pass it forward and down to Kalon.
Leave it to me.
Pass those down.
Obviously,